Hi guys, I don't really have much of a script for this one, just gonna kind of do it off the top of my head. And I guess I want to talk a little bit about my dad. A lot of you guys probably already know, but earlier this week he passed away, and it was pretty traumatic to say the least. And
We pray for you,
I was
brother.
there with him the whole time. It was just me and him, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about it and explain kind of
I'm
where
glad
I'm
that he
at,
has someone to talk
and
to.
also kind of like give you guys an explanation of, oh, why hasn't he been on? Well, that's the reason.
Yeah, my fucking dad died.
3 or
Shit.
4 days before he passed, the doctors told me that, well, actually, let me take a step back, okay? So ever since about 2023, his health has been on the decline, and it has been on the decline despite his best efforts. He had fought against multiple infections. He got pneumonia 6 times in 2 years, basically, maybe a little bit longer than that. And one of them ended up, the most recent one, ended up leaving him hospitalized. That was the one later in June. And that's whenever things really, kind of the temperature of things really got turned up and it started getting really bad. But for about 2 years now, I've been doing a lot. I've been going over to his house, multiple times a week, doing a lot of chores for him, doing things like, anything from going shopping for him to, like doing the sheets on his bed, making sure that his floor's vacuumed, etc. Right? I was basically maintaining his entire house and cleaning it because, I didn't want to have to, I guess, it's in a way dishonorable, I think, to him to like ask for maids to come clean up his house, especially. And so it was my responsibility, I thought, as his son, to do that for him, and I did. And so that was the reason why a lot of times I would end my stream at about 7 to 8 p.m. It's mainly just to call him and, make sure that he has everything he needs. And this has been something I've been doing for the past 2 years, ever since June of this year. And I mean, this is let me one more. I apologize. As I said, I don't really have like much of a internal script for this one. But when he got his pneumonia for the fourth time, before the fourth pneumonia, he's 76 years old. He's been through Vietnam. He's had heat stroke before. He has, again, 78. Half of one of his lungs was gone, and he was still walking, a brisk, like, 5K every single day in, like, 30 or 40 minutes. And this is, like, at 76 years old. He would do this every single day. And this is after 3 pneumonias, but the fourth one really kind of, it pretty much almost got him. I mean, and, we were talking about this, and, he was a fan of boxing, and so, he was saying, it was like the count was 6 or 7, right? And, it was like 4 or
Couple
whatever.
more down,
He
and
was
then it's
almost
8,
out
9.
at
You don't
that
want to hit
fourth
10.
pneumonia, but somehow he managed to pull through, and with a good type of new antibiotic and everything, he had recovered pretty much, excuse me, pretty much entirely. And this was kind of like, this had gone relatively well. Like, he was going back to being at the store. He lived alone pretty much his whole life, and, even at the end, I would come over every single day and help him for hours, but he did live alone. Like, he would shower by himself, he would be able to take care of himself, cook himself meals, etc. Although that was something that I was kind of like, because I could see, that's stupid, right? And, like, I could see where things were going, so I had a lot of, home care stuff, personal chefs set up, and everything, or for whenever he thought it was time, I would be ready for it to be time. And so, ever since 2023, he and I have been on relatively the same page, that we were kind of living on borrowed time. And it
Unfortunate.
was a miracle that he even came out of that pneumonia at all. And we ended up being able to, earlier this year, go to Florida. And Florida is where I was born. It's where he grew up as well. And it's where the majority of my
Yeah, he
family
took a week off to go see his
so,
family.
we went out there, and, I think back right now to, like the fact that we were able to go out there. He was able to see everybody in the family and spend all this time with them. And at the time, I was very frustrated because I had to take time away from my stream. It was the same week that Expedition 33 came out. I was very frustrated and annoyed, also oblivion. But, I look back on that, and I'm just so proud and happy that I ended up making that decision at this point, right?
He didn't bitch out on it. He didn't say, fuck it, I'm not doing it.
He saw them
Because
good
I could
health,
definitely
too.
see
Like,
that would be a regret.
I don't know how this even happened, but he was 78 at the time, and he was still, walking around and like going from like 9 a.m. to like 2 a.m. every single day. And so he had an incredible amount of energy, had like multiple jobs. And so now I guess now I can finally go to the recent period of time, which is whenever I kind of started being very intermittent in my streaming. You can look at my graph, and like my stream hours have went way down, right? And this was the reason. It was
Red graph bad.
Been to the hospital 3 times, and the third time was obviously the time that he didn't leave. But the first time he had pneumonia, and he called me, and things just progressively got worse. The second time he called me, and I'm on the phone with him, and he calls me in the morning. He says, "Hey, I don't want you to freak out, okay? Like you always do, but I've got acute liver failure, and I need to go to the emergency room right now." And I'm like,
I remember that day.
I was like so in shock. I was like, I didn't know what to say, and so I asked him. I said, "Are you cooked?" He's like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, "Are you dead?" And he's like, I don't know. Let's go find out." And I'm like, "Okay." And so we go over there, and like he turned out, long story short, had pancreatic cancer. Not a good day. Worst cancer to have. And I remember telling him that he had pancreatic cancer, and somehow he didn't get the memo that he had pancreatic cancer. I was the one that was called and told before he was. And so he called me, and he's complaining about the nurses because the nurses are waking him up at night. And he's in the middle of a rant, and I interrupt him, and I say, "Pa, just real quick, did the doctor talk to you?" He says, "No." He says, "What's going on?" I said, "You've got pancreatic cancer." He's, "Oh, okay." Well, so anyway, so it's like 4 in the morning, and this bitch
Typical
comes in here,
fucking Asmon dad.
didn't even care. He didn't give a fuck. And so, and it was
like, yep, okay,
like,
sounds about right.
A person in my entire life who gave less of a fuck than my dad. It's honestly been inspiring to me, and hopefully I try to embody that as much as I can. But it was
is what
really
it is.
astonishing. And so he was in the hospital for that, and he came out of that, and obviously we went to the oncology place. And guys, I hate to say it,
they're never curing cancer.
I've been to hotels.
They're never curing cancer.
And that don't look as good as these oncology fucking, places, these like clinics, everything. Never curing cancer, bro. Like, this is like they've got like fucking like everything is wood, like like polished oak, and like you go into the bathroom and it's got like almost like a golden fucking toilet. So yeah, guys, I don't know about this whole cancer cure thing you've got going on. A little bit unlikely, but anyway. So
too much of a lucrative business donating.
He and I went there, and he got along really well with the doctor, and he's walking in there. By the way, this is like after he's supposed to be on oxygen, and he had recovered so much that he would be walking around. This is like literally like at this exact time, right? More than about 2 weeks ago, he was walking around the local grocery store here at HEB. He was walking around with no oxygen, the whole store, just talking to people, shopping like normal, right? And then, it was really the chemotherapy, I think really was what got him, is that he had his first, I think it's chemotherapy, and then this is like the same week that he was actually walking around the store. So like he had even got chemo, he was still walking around, no oxygen and everything. After the pneumonia, after the pancreatic cancer diagnosis, he was stage 2A with pancreatic cancer. So we were talking about like maybe, like they were able to do a procedure to remove it. In retrospect, this procedure, if I think back on like what do they really do? This is like something that they would do in like Game of Thrones, right? It's like this isn't a surgery. This is like a procedure done by a medieval alchemist, and I don't really think that he would have probably enjoyed that. And it's, like realistically, I talked to my aunt about this, and she said like just do not get this procedure. It's really bad. It's actually worse, the treatment is worse than the disease.
Mm-hmm.
Just enjoy your last year and a half, 2-3 years, and, like, trust me, it's going to be better. Because also, whenever you remove it, there's a chance that on a microbiology, molecular level, the cancer does end up spreading anyway. And so, but there have been no metastasizing, etc. And my dad wanted to go through the chemotherapy, and he said, all right, fuck it, let's just do it. And I said, okay, all right, well, this is what you want to do. We're going to do it, right? It's his life. And so anyway, we went through it. Second chemo, the day of his second chemo, like he had been feeling like kind of not really great, but I kind of chalked that up to the first time he had gone out and done all that stuff that one day. And it's like you haven't gone out or done anything for an entire month. You haven't even driven a car for a month, and you do all of this, and you go to the bank too after this. And big surprise, you know, you're not really doing super great after that. But anyway, this is like maybe about like a week and a half ago. Like we go to the second chemo appointment, and he comes home, and he's like talking. Like, oh my god, he's talking nonstop, right? And so on the way home, and then halfway through the way home, he was just like, Brian, he was tired. And like I get it, like, cause he's done this before, right? I didn't really think much of it, but he comes back home and he just collapses on the bed, and he's like, after that, he's like super like cold, he's shivering. The house, by the way, like we forgot to turn on the AC. It's like 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's so fucking hot. And so anyway, you know, he's sitting there and he's freezing cold, and his back's hurting him. He can't fucking catch his breath. Everything is awful. And I'm like thinking like, okay, well I want to go home and get ready because, you know, I want to go live tomorrow. But like I couldn't do that because he was just in this situation. So, you know, one thing led to another, and I ended up just sleeping on the floor next to his bed that night. And you
Sleeping
know,
on the floor, classic Asmon.
It was just awful. The next day, we had an
True
appointment
son.
for a pulmonology appointment, and we figured, well, I mean, instead of just going to the hospital, we might as well have them admit us to the hospital, because it was pretty evident that that's what was going to happen. And so we go, and you know, I have to, you know, take him in a wheelchair and, you know, everything like that. He's on his oxygen, etc. And you know, like he's not even like super really responsive. Like, you know, usually like you guys have seen him like talking like multiple times. Like he used to be a college professor, right? I mean, like he was extremely sharp. And you know, this is something that, like, I mean, besides like this last like week and a half, he'd never really lost much of his edge. And anyway, so you know, basically like this is what happened. And you know, he just kind of he went to the hospital, and obviously his blood pressure was like 70/50. So that's not a very good one, is it? And he goes to the hospital, he gets admitted, and things basically are not good, but they're, you know, like, oh, we think it's this, we think it's that. The end result is that I don't think that they ever really found out entirely what was wrong with him, but in my opinion, it's like, oh yeah, you go and you get chemo, and then after that you collapse and have a massive fucking crash out where you can't breathe. Probably it was because of the chemo, right? I mean, I can't be sure, but that's pretty much it. And so 4 days before he passed, 3 days before he passed, the doctors, I had two doctors in there telling me that, you know, it wasn't a matter of if, but when he gets out of the hospital. I'm pulling into the hospital the next day. The doctor calls me, and she says that, well, we don't know if he's going to leave the hospital. So whiplash, to say the least. And I'm like, I'm freaking out, right? I mean, like
I can imagine.
Like, this is
I can't imagine.
Right? Because I'm dealing with this, by the way, primarily by myself.
Yeah.
You know, like all my family's in Florida.
Yeah.
Lucky enough, and I'll get to this, but I was able to handle all this on my own. I did all this by myself.
Fucking
you know,
Asmon power, man.
That would, you know, reach out and try to help me, etc. But you know, for the most part, it was really just me doing all of this, and I'm lucky in a lot of ways. But you know, like he's had a lot of friends over the years, obviously. And so, you know, many of them were able to like come see him and everything. But, you know, I think about it a lot myself, and I think to myself, like, well, like growing up and even like as an adult, there was a lot of friction between me and my dad, right? I would get very angry at him. I'd be very, very furious, angry at him for a number of reasons. Same with my mom, especially my dad. And I had a lot of resentment for a lot of different reasons, etc. Like I love my dad. I always loved my dad, but he would make me frustrated a lot, and the way that he would act sometimes would make me uncomfortable, and it would bother me a lot. And so there was a very big amount of friction there. But you know, I remember when I was a kid, and he would always say this. He says, "I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to hang out with you. I'm not here to be your buddy. I'm here to be your father and to raise you. So, you know, when the time comes and I'm gone, you're going to be able to keep going."
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, you know, he's telling me this obviously when I'm 8 years old. And so this is like, I've never met anybody who is even remotely close to as much of a hard ass as my dad is. Like it's not even remotely close. And I'll tell him something bad that would happen to me, and this would turn into a story about how his family didn't have any money growing up, and so he had to hunt squirrels to feed the family. And so there's never a time that I could complain to him, and he wouldn't be able to one up it, which would be frustrating for me, right? And there was a lot of resentment and frustration there, but at the end of the day, he was a massive fucking hard ass, and that harshness and everything, I think, is probably a lot kind of where I get it from too. But I was thinking, and I would always resent this, and I'd be very frustrated. But I realized that when he was dying, I was there, and I was able to deal with it, and I was there the entire time. I went till the very end, and I think to myself, at the end of the day, he did it. I was ready, and I mean, not as ready as you can be. Obviously,
yeah.
Right? But I think about that a lot, and what he set out to do as a father for me, I think he achieved it. And I've had a number of days right now just to think about that, and it's been I have a lot of very, very complex feelings about that, and that's been basically what's been going on. I've obviously had to contact all of my family members and everything, and organize everything, and deal with his will and everything. He's giving away most of this stuff to his friends, and we made a video of him, I go, this is going to this guy, it's going to this guy, it's going to this guy, it's going to this guy, and I even made sure in the video, I was like, Pa, who's the car going to? He's got a 2014 Dodge Challenger
It's going to Asmon.
V8 Hemi Performance Package car. I'm like, Pa, who's the car going to? He says, oh, it's going to you. I said, okay, all right, good. That's in the video. So I'm getting the car. Everything else, don't give a fuck about it. But I'm getting the car. And obviously a few other things that, growing up, would have sentimental value to me. But otherwise, he's giving away a lot of the stuff to, different family members and friends, etc. And, I've had to organize all of that and do all of that. It's been a lot of work for me, and the work is not over, but it is beginning to recede, which is good. So, I lost my mom in 2021, lost my dad, and now it's just me. And it's a weird feeling.
Power to you, bro. We
and,
believe.
I think to myself a lot about it, and I don't really...
Give him the spirit
I don't really
energy.
Know what to think or how to feel, or... I don't think there is a right way to I don't know, like, to
It's
feel
just
this
whatever
way, but,
whatever you have
my
to
dad,
do, man. Whatever you have to do.
always really did try to do his best for me, and like you guys know on my stream and everything, he was a part of my stream.
I'm gonna miss that.
know,
Someone made a really good compilation
I
that I
don't
kind of
think
want to
I'll
watch
really
after
be the
this.
same, after losing him and going through all of this, but I to be honest, the only thing that I really felt is that I felt really sad when he passed away, is because there was things that I had wanted to do for him, right? Like, for example,
The Middle
he's
East
a veteran,
trip?
he's a Vietnam veteran, and I had wanted to go and have him take one of the honor flights to Washington, D.C. and see the memorial and everything. And this is something he had wanted to do, and I had agreed to go with him and to do that. And because you have like a +1, and they take a lot of the old vets there, and I was really sad. There was that and a number of things, and to be honest, like, not capitalizing and not doing more of those things. Obviously, like, I did a lot of things with him, but I have a tremendous amount of regret for not doing more. And it's one of those things where I've had only a few of these in my life where you actually can't undo this. You can't go back and redo it or fix it or undo it or anything like that. You just simply have to live the rest of your life with the consequences of it.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that is I hope I don't make that mistake again. I will do my best to never make that mistake again.
Live the moments for you, bro.
And that's pretty much about it.
That's my problem. Turning people down and shit like that. I'm so bad at doing that. Instead of like making memories with your friends, you saying nah.
Now, like,
I'm gonna stay in tonight.
Think about it's like it's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock now, right when I'm recording this, and I'm like thinking like, oh, I should probably call my dad, check in on my dad, and
yeah,
it is right, and so it's gonna take me some time to kind of like get past it.
Yeah, take all the time, bro.
The day that
all
we
the time.
to put him on hospice. I come in and it's like 2 p.m. or like 3 p.m. I come into his room, and he says, "Well, why aren't you streaming?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Why am I not streaming? You fucking dying!" Like he's like, "Ah,
don't worry about it.
Well, you need to go live. Like, what are you doing?" And
you got fans out there. What about us?
The kind of guy he was, and
yeah. So we loved about him.
I intend to honor that wish, and I'm not gonna be gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back soon. It's what he would want,
yeah.
And I think it's what's best. I'm incredibly lucky that I was able to deal with all this by myself. My dad growing up and, was like the oldest member of the family, patriarch in a lot of ways of the family, would help people with all kinds of stuff, etc. And I find myself tremendously lucky and fortunate that I was able to deal with all of this by myself, and nobody else had to see him in the state that he was in at the end. And, they can have the memories of him being a strong, smart, nice, kind guy, and funny,
yeah.
very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very glad that, I was able to do all that myself, and nobody had to see what I saw. Not a good time. But anyway, I will be back. I don't really have a time frame, maybe a week or so, right? I mean, I don't know.
Really, that's fucking soon?
Something like that. If it's longer, too bad.
Yeah.
If it's shorter,
yeah, like,
so,
I expect at least like 2 months.
And,
especially if you had to go to Florida and do all that stuff. But I don't know.
All you guys that left positive comments and messages, in this hospital, but even I showed him. I was fucking scrolling. I was like,
look at all the people cheering you on, Asmongold.
They're praying for you, everything like that. And, he really appreciated it even then. Like, I think he was kind of in shock that it was so many of you all. And so, that's
the influence that you have when you're such a powerful thinker and idea provider and communicator.
And so, I'll see you soon.
Hell yeah, brother.
Son of a bitch.
Yep.
It's been a fucking crazy past 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For the entire world too. But it sucks when it's hitting your front door.
So I wanted to tell you guys all what happened, and that's pretty much about it. And thank you guys, everybody. And
we're here for you, man. We believe in you. Peace. Asmongold. Now I'm like, is it too early to call him Asmongold now? Because he is officially now the true Asmongold. Especially if you include Casey in there. See, Callie, I'm like, how the I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, I am literally like almost in tears thinking about it, and he's not even my dad. I'm just like, I am so emotional with shit that I'm like, oh, I feel it. I'm just, I get on that level, right? So let's see if we can explore Asmongold compilation. Nope. Someone. Oh, here it is. Rip Asmongold's dad. Here it is. And then it's just like a bunch of moments.
Hello. Welcome.
Oh, maybe it's not. Nope. It's just a video about it. There's one that's like, you know, it was a bunch of moments of like Asmongold and his dad. But I don't think I can find it. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted to close. Yeah, I know. 3 hours
Most
of writing
people-
a day. That's what you're gonna do, Callie? 3 hours of writing a day? I wonder if I'm on TikTok. Memorial video? Is that what? A tribute. Is this it? Okay, I think it's this. Okay, and then this one. This is it.
My dad's been very supportive of me streaming. He even pretends to care about World of Warcraft whenever I tell him about it. I couldn't have asked for a better dad than my dad.
All the way from back in the day, my dad took me out fishing, and he actually brought first time fishing, and he brought out, and apparently he wrote an article and he sent it in to a fishing magazine, and they published the article with my picture of the fish that I caught.
And I turn around, you're going, oh, yes. And I said, are you getting a bite? Yeah. Yeah, well, shit, we had to throw all mine back.
God.
Phone boy.
What a.
Happy Easter.
Okay.
There's a lot of bad boys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an ad.
You be-
Here, let's go back to the beginning then. Hold on. Yeah, we don't want to play this during the middle of an ad. That'd be so disrespectful. So disrespectful. I'm gonna put the same energy I put into exercising into writing. That's a good idea, Callie. Use your... You have to work on both your body and your mind. Remember that. I'll tell you my secret, Callie. I'll tell you my secret. Don't tell anyone, okay, Callie? Don't tell anyone my secret. When was it? September 15th. Okay. So it's between September 15th and 10th. Wait, what day is this? Okay, that's that. It should be like right here, right? Let's somewhere here. Why can't I find it? Okay, well, let's just go to YouTube and let's just do this then. This is usually how I find it.
Talk Stories.
And then we grab this. And go to the end. And we want probably this one. Maybe this one. Nah, this one's all the same. Maybe this one? Yeah, there you go. That's a good one. Yeah, and then I just I just take it from that. What are you gonna do? Sue me? Don't tell anyone my secret, Callie. Don't tell anyone my secret.
My dad's been very supportive of me streaming. He even pretends to care about World of Warcraft.
Oh, true. So why did you change your name, Callie?
I couldn't have asked for a better dad than my dad.
All the way from back in the day, my dad took me out fishing, and he actually first time fishing,
Time to the coast.
and he brought out, and apparently he wrote an article, and he sent it in
I
to
saw
a
someone
fishing magazine,
named...
and they published the article with my picture of the fish that I caught.
And
Yeah.
turn around, you're going,
Alpha Princess Daddy.
I said, are you getting
And I was
fighting?
inspired.
Yeah.
Ah.
I caught more than you, right?
Yeah, well, you know, shit, we had to throw all mine back.
God.
Phone boy.
What a...
Happy Easter.
Okay.
There's a lot of bad boys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do
You be
That sounds-
like stream sniping people?
that. Oh, yeah, that sounds like me. Is that it? I mean, maybe I have somebody else, one of my buddies with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
It's some way to fuck with somebody, you know.
Is this real?
yeah, I know. See, guys, now you know it's actually my dad. Yeah.
Yeah, boomer, you damn right I'm a boomer. Second year. First year boomer is 46. I was born in 47. And
All right.
I'm proud to be a boomer. I said, come on, Zach, just shut it down for a while. No, I can't. I love this game. And crying. Big bones.
Don't hit big bones with little bones.
There you go.
No.
And so, no, I don't have more hair than he does. I just know how to hide it better.
All right. Well, I'll see you later. Yeah, I'll see you
Boy,
later.
say something else.
Okay.
All right.
Yo. See ya.
bro. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks to all you guys who say all the nice things about me. I see in his chat when I call him up and, you know, get me shit. And I really appreciate that. Kind of cheers me up. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you around.
Man, I literally already cried. I know, it's so sad, right? That's the problem with getting older, Callie. Eventually, one day, we're gonna be in that spot. And it's either gonna be, like, our kids or, like, our other family members, like my sister or my brother, my niece, my nephews, lying on my deathbed when I'm 97, streaming it. You think that'd become a phenomenon? When streamers get to the point where they're, like, dying in the hospital, and it's like Kai Cenat when he's like 104 years old in the fucking hospital. And you're just like waiting for him to like just fucking... When's gonna be the day he's gonna croak? You're just like fucking... What would that be? If he's like... What, he's like 22 or 23 or something like that? Kai's pretty young, right? So it'd be like 21... 2111, 2112, something like that. It'll be 104 to 108. But yeah, who knows how long we'll live at that point, Callie, right?